Here's the Spurs news roundup with me, Harry Scarfe. Please stay tuned to the very end because there's a lot of headlines to get through. The first part of the video will be your Tottenham headlines in the last 24 hours, and the second part of the video dissecting them, me giving my opinion, you get a full analysis and you get involved as well. So please do like and subscribe. Firstly, let's get straight into it with the first part of the video, your headlines. Firstly, Weekend Sport report that Tottenham having marked Ronald Araujo as a top target. The Barcelona defender is valued at £43 million and is also on Chelsea and Liverpool's radar. First official approach from Spurs expected as soon as next week. The Mirror Football report that Manchester City midfielder James McAtee is now understood to be emerging as a potential transfer target for Tottenham Hotspur, following the injury to James Maddison, which has ruled him out for the majority of the upcoming season. Tottenham player Matchday spoke on the defeat versus Bayern Munich in pre-season, saying this is Champions League level. We're going to play in the Champions League, so we need to be ready for these games. We're going to have a lot of games like this against highly quality opposition, so we need to be ready. Pre-season has been positive for me because we've learned a lot. We just need to work harder. I'm looking forward because we have a good team, a good club, good fans, and I have a lot of confidence about this season. Matchday spoke about working with new Tottenham head coach Thomas Frank, saying that working with Thomas is very good. He has a lot of energy, he brings good vibes in the dressing room, on and off the pitch, so I'm very happy to work with him. Harry Kane spoke about former Bayern teammate Matchday joining Spurs. This time is what Harry Kane had to say. Kane said he's got great potential, whether he's playing as a left winger or striker. He gets into dangerous areas, he can finish the ball well, and he's good 1v1. I don't want to put too much pressure on him. He's going to the Premier League. He's still extremely young, although he has a lot of experience here. He still has to develop and improve. He knows that, and he works hard to do that. So I just want him to go and enjoy himself, have confidence, and hopefully he can shine in the Premier League. Former Tottenham player Harry Kane also spoke about former Bayern teammate João Palhinha, who's now joined Tottenham Hotspur, saying Kane said he's tough, he tackles hard, he's good on the ball, he knows the Premier League well from his time at Fulham, and he's the guy that will give everything for you. I know he's going to a good place and he'll hopefully get some more game time and show what he can do. Harry Kane spoke about Heung-min Son leaving Tottenham. Kane said he'll go down as a Tottenham legend, and there was no better way to finish than by winning that trophy last season. I was so close for him and a lot of the other guys that I know so well, so good luck to him. I texted him earlier this morning and said we need to catch up soon. Of course, I miss him as a player and as a person as well, but hopefully he does well out in America. Jed Spence turned 25 on Saturday. He's joined us in the summer of 2022 and has made 41 first team appearances for us, 29 in the Premier League, 3 in the FA Cup, 5 in the League Cup, and 4 European appearances across all 3 of the European competitions. Heung-min Son made his debut for LAFC overnight, coming off the bench as his side drew 2-2 and made an instant impact, winning a penalty. The move started with a great save from former Tottenham captain Hugo Lloris, before former Tottenham captain as well. Heung-min Son raced through and he was brought down. It was later given by VAR, wasn't it given initially? Football Transfers report that Tottenham are stepping up talks to sign Harvey Elliott of Liverpool after James Maddison's ACL injury. Spurs are happy to meet Liverpool's demands by including a buyback clause. Fabrizio Romano, Italian journalist, reports that Everton continue to advance in talks over signing rumoured Tottenham transfer target Jack Grealish. He is a priority target for the Toffees. The Manchester City midfielder has opened doors to a move to Merseyside. Next, a report from the Weekend Sport states that Tottenham are set to make an offer for Galatasaray forward Baris Alper Yilmaz, of 25 years of age, who scored 14 goals and provided 6 assists last season. Next, the report from PA Sport states that no Mikey Moore for Rangers on Saturday. That was because he awaits international clearance. It will get finalised once he turns 18 on Monday. That is likely too late to feature in the Champions League versus Victoria Pless on Tuesday, but Moore will be available versus Lauer on Saturday, so no need to panic for Tottenham fans. Next, a report from the Athletic UK states that Tottenham Hotspur central defender Luka Vuskovic is of genuine interest to HSV, but there is yet to be any proper discussions with Spurs over a year-long loan. That can change, but nothing imminent there as of yet. Next report from again, Weekend Sport, states that Arsenal and Crystal Palace have reached an agreement for the transfer of rumoured Tottenham transfer target, again, Eberechi Eze. The fee, £55 million, so it'd be £30 million up front. The 27-year-old English playmaker, the hero of the 2024 FA Cup against Man City, will join Arsenal once Palace secure his replacement. Thomas Frank has confirmed that Spurs are not in the market for another fullback in this transfer window and see Ben Davies as a very important player. Tottenham's head coach said, yeah, I think so. We have enough full-backs right now. So we have Ben and Spence. Jed was very good against Arsenal, did very well against Saka, and I think Ben is a very important player. I think his leadership qualities, his character, and the way he understands the bigger picture. Everyone has got an ego, but his ego is not too big, and that's good. So you understand how much you need to help the team and the younger players. He understands when it's for the better for the club, all the actions. So as a player that can speak up and push a bit inside, and they like him, he's a good guy. It makes sense what he says, and he does it in a good way. That's just respect for all the players. Some win respect by being top players, and Ben is still, by the way, a very good player. So when you do other things, I think you win more respect. That's interesting. Thomas Frank on Johan Langer, Tottenham and the summer transfer window. Frank said, obviously we're signing players here where the process in Brentford, I'm not saying they were better, I think they're very good. I think that Johan and his team is doing a top job, but just for them to understand what I'm looking for, so that needs to be aligned. At Brentford it was aligned, I want that. Okay, fine, we look at it, boom, and now I need to use more time with Johan and Rob and these guys, and then we make presentations. No, I need that instead. So all that is just extra hours every day. Thomas Frank on Tottenham's transfer window. Frank said, we try to recruit the right players, try to get to know the team, try to get all the principles in. As an example, I was very, very happy with the first half against Arsenal because I think there were a lot of elements that I want to get into a team, and it looked okay in sync without being completely free-flowing. But a lot of the principles, so that's a lot of hard work. Then as we go through the transfer window, that's why we need the next step with players that maybe need to beat them. Thomas Frank on his Tottenham Hotspur squad and how close it is to being what he wants. Frank said, I think that's difficult. I think that's no doubt that I want, how I could say, is a big enough, small enough squad. You know what I mean? It needs to be big enough and robust enough to compete on all 4 tournaments, because that's extremely important, but I can't have too many players. It's just so difficult to keep everyone happy. It is almost impossible, and then we want to see if we can add enough quality, but again, we don't really want to sign the players we don't think can really improve the squad. Then I would rather wait until we have the right talented players. I'm not here for the short-term fix. I want to build something that can last, so we need to think longer term. But of course, we need to compete now. That's my thought process. A quick loan watch for you here. Tottenham's Alejo Valise played the first 88 minutes for Rosario Central, where he's on loan, where Atletico Tucumán. The game finished 0-0. He created one chance, had 2 shots blocked, which are both off target. Passing accuracy 55%. He had 21 touches in the game, 4 touches in the opposition box, and also provided 2 passes in the final third. He was dispossessed 3 times. Ground duels won only 25%, and aerials duels won only 50%. Alfie Dorrington played the full 90 minutes for Aberdeen on Sunday in a 2-0 home defeat against Celtic. He had 53 touches in the game, made 2 passes in the final third. Passing accuracy was 80%, made 1 block, 1 tackle, and 4 clearances. And news regarding the Super Cup final, and that is PSG midfielder João Neves will miss the game against Tottenham Hotspur in that Super Cup final. He missed it on Wednesday due to suspension that he picked up in another game. So let's get through your headlines. There's a lot there in the last 24 hours. We'll start with a story about McAtee. I think it would be a decent bit of business to sign McAtee. However, there's so much better out there. And why is this all being 1 week before the transfer window? I know it's a surprise that Maddison got injured, but again, it's poor planning, in my opinion, anyway, from the club. So yeah, good signing, but it's better out there. Eze, if he isn't going to Arsenal, and get onto it, reports suggest otherwise, that would be a really good option. Jack Grealish, I just think McAtee is a good player, but that's what I'm saying. Good isn't good enough, simply. If we want to achieve Levy's goal, winning the Premier League and Champions League in the long term, it would be a good bit of business. I just can't see it happening. Tell, I've said before, speaks very well, very humble, very good with the media. He was when he was on loan last season, when the times were tough. Leadership team wouldn't speak to the media. Tell did. He just speaks really well, really positive. I think Kane speaks well as well about Palini, about Tell, really positive about them both, about Shin Min Son too. Let's go on to Weekend Sports report on Ronald Araujo as a top target. I mean, I never really got why we were linked with the centre back, but when I think about it more and go to Kai's injured, Dragassin's injured, it just leaves kind of Danso and Vuskovic as the backup. So I don't think it should be a priority in terms of, for me, the 10 should come first, the left winger should come first, even fullback cover, although Thomas Frank doesn't seem to agree from what he's saying anyway. How much of that is PR and bluff, I don't know. It should still be an area prioritised. See, that's the thing. It's difficult, isn't it? I think that Araujo would be a good bit of business, but however, I think it's looked quite shaky at times in recent years. I mean, it's a kind of weird cover, I suppose, for Romero, unless Frank wants a back three, because I can't see him being happy sitting on the bench. That's the problem. I'm all for assigning defenders, and I want competition, but these players, unless they believe Romero and Van der Ven are going to have similar injuries to their track record, which is possible. But then I see Danso as a backup, and then when Dragassin fits too, so it's difficult how we go about that. Great start for Sonny for LAFC, showed real pace in that game as well, something we haven't seen for Tottenham, of course, at a different level. Harvey Elliott, I don't think that's going to happen. He definitely needs more game time, he wants more game time, but I think that's a bad buy for Tottenham, not in terms of the players. Ability is second to none, I can't question it, but what I can question is whether he's the right attitude and mentality, the right character for the dressing room. That's what Thomas Frank's all about as well, and Postecoglou was about as well, and I just simply don't think he is. Looks like Everton are continuing to advance for Jack Grealish. That move makes sense in terms of Grealish having a settled family in Manchester. Is near Everton is what was just my basic thinking originally, and David Moyes is the right type of manager to work with Grealish. As much as I'd want him at Tottenham, I think Everton would cover his wages and Tottenham wouldn't, which sounds absolutely crackers to say. Yilmaz as well, of Galatasaray linked to Tottenham. I don't believe we would target a striker. It's just all possibilities if Richarlison does leave. I love Richarlison, but if we were ambitious, we'd probably cash in on him and sign someone else, but I don't think that someone like a Nicholas Jackson would be the right option. Yilmaz would be, though, potentially a good option. Context provided by PA Sport and other sources. Looks at several reports about why Mikey Warren is featured, so no need to panic. I think he'll get plenty of game time from Rangers, probably initially as a substitute until he proves himself. And PA Sport saying that Luka Vuskovic interest to several clubs, including HSV, so I have to see what happens with that. I'd personally like to keep him unless we do bring in that centre back. Maybe that's what the club's thinking, but if you have Romero, Van der Ven, Dragassin, Danso, we've done another top centre back like Araujo, let's say, then I'm all for having depth, but you can't have too much depth. It can become a point where players become entitled, or they just think, I'm going to play, and that does become unhealthy, and the battle goes too far. Also closing on Eze, I hope that report isn't true. I want to talk about the fact that Thomas Frank confirmed Spurs aren't in the market, or suggests anyway that we aren't in the market for another fullback. I mean, it is his choice at the end of the day. He might genuinely believe that. I did say when Thomas Frank joined the club, players like Archie Gray, Ben Davis, Matthias Tell, Alderweireld, I think are going to do really well under Frank, and some of them are proving likely, especially Ben Davis. I think he's going to get more minutes than people think. I do think he's mainly there for his leadership presence, but I think we do need to sign another fullback. Davis is great to have as a backup, but I'd rather have 4 really strong fullbacks, 2 on the left, 2 on the right. Whether Spence is a left back or right back or not, I don't know. Or Frank sees him as a left back, and we need to sign a right back. If he sees him as both, then it is difficult who to sign in that case. But I just think we need more than Davis, Udogie, Porro and Spence. I think we need one more, because let's say Udogie gets injured, which he currently is, then you've got a problem. It's Davis at left back, that's it. If Spence gets okay play there, but what happens if Porro gets injured, or the backup for Porro, because he can't keep playing 90 minutes? That's what gets some more injuries in the first place. So if we didn't have Champions League, it'd be fine, but with Champions League we need more than that, in my honest opinion anyway. I think Johan Langer's a waste of space, if I'm totally honest with you, and I've done quite a bit of detailed research about it, and Aston Villa have recruited a lot better. I don't think the amount of money they spent is down to him, but Aston Villa have spent more and recruited better. Yes, he signed some top players, John Duran, Emi Martinez, but Villa also on loan deals were very clever, and I'd arguably say he spent money cleverly. Let's say that Marcus Rashford and Asensio, 2 really successful loans, even though they haven't been signed permanently. Evan Gustafsson from Nice, I think it's a really good bit of business, so it is improved, and I think Langer isn't fantastic, and Villa fans were celebrating when he left, which for me tells you all you need to know. Frank talking about it with the squad, I think he wants more, but also he's kind of saying, look, we need to be players outside the door as well. Valise doesn't look like he'd done very well playing 88 minutes, but I mean, ground duels won 25%, aerial duels won 50%, and only a 50% passing accuracy, and only 20 21 touches. They're all negative stats. Alfie Dorrington a little bit better, but his side that fall to defeat. Again, Aberdeen, not a good start to the season for them. And a big blow to PSG, and great news for Tottenham. Yael Neves will miss the game on Wednesday at the Super Cup final due to suspension. That's fantastic news. I don't think we're going to stand a chance. That's the thing. Question to the viewers, how do you view it? Would you take beating PSG to win the Cup if it meant losing to Burnley? That's a genuine question. How do you see it? What's more important to you? Is it Burnley? Is it PSG? Is it the trophy? Is it the Premier League? Let me know in the comments below. But that is your daily Spurs news, or Spurs roundup, should I just say. Providing your latest top news I have in the last 24 hours and dissecting them with a full analysis. Let us know in the comments below what you think of this latest series that I'm delivering here at my channel. Thank you very much for watching. If you're new, like, subscribe. More content than ever going into the 25-26 season. Keep your eyes peeled. Shorts, videos, podcasts, contributions for other channels, you name it. Got a lot in the pipeline, a lot already delivered. This is just one of several new series, so make sure you keep tuned. A massive come on you Spurs.